Dear students, on behalf of Board of Intermediate Education, Andhra Pradesh, I am back here with a new chapter of human physiology, that is body fluids and circulation. We have understood the structural aspects of human heart. It is the pumping organ of our circulatory system. We are going to discuss the working of heart in today's session. We'll start the topic after a quick recap of structure of heart. This is the four-chambered heart of human beings. It is slightly triangular with broad base and narrow apex. The two upper chambers are the atria and the two lower chambers are the ventricles. Coming to the internal structure, atria are the thin-walled chambers, receiving chambers of the heart. They receive blood from different regions of the body. Ventricles are the thick-walled chambers. This is a thick wall of ventricle. Due to the presence of thick muscular wall, they can act as pumping chambers of heart. They pump the blood out of heart to different regions of the body. This is right atrium. It receives blood through precaval vein, collecting blood from anterior regions of the body. The postcaval vein, which collects blood from posterior parts of the body. And coronary sinus, collecting from the myocardium of heart. These three major veins, they drain the deoxygenated blood into right atrium. This is left atrium. It receives oxygenated blood through two pairs of pulmonary veins. These pulmonary veins, they collect the oxygenated blood from the lungs and they drain the blood into left atrium. Between right atrium and right ventricle, there is right atrioventricular aperture. It is guarded by tricuspid valve. Between left atrium and left ventricle, there is left atrioventricular aperture and it is guarded by bicuspid valve or mitral valve. These valves allow the flow of blood from atria into ventricles only. The two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum. If you observe the inner surface of the ventricle, we find small column-like projections known as columnae carneae and large conical projections known as papillary muscles. Papillary muscles are attached to atrioventricular valves by cardae tendineae. These papillary muscles, observe the tall conical projections papillary muscles here. These are cardae tendineae. They connect these papillary muscles with the bicuspid valve. The papillary muscles bring the movement of leaflets of the valves. Right ventricle pumps the blood into pulmonary arch. This pulmonary arch carries blood to lungs for oxygenation. The opening of the pulmonary arch is guarded by a semilunar valve known as pulmonary valve. Left ventricle pumps the blood into systemic arch. Systemic arch carries the blood to all the tissues of the body. The opening of systemic arch is guarded by aortic valve. We find deoxygenated blood in right chambers of heart and oxygenated blood in left chambers. These are the valves of the heart. Sebaceous and eustachian valves are found in the right atrium. Tricuspid and bicuspid valves are present at the atrioventricular apertures. These apertures are present between atria and the ventricles. Next type of valves are pulmonary and aortic valves. They guard the opening of ventricles into aortic arches. Valves play an important role in the working of heart. They are made up of fibrous connective tissue. What is the function of valves? They direct and regulate the flow of blood. They allow the flow of blood only in one direction. For example, These two are the atrioventricular valves, tricuspid and bicuspid valves. They allow the flow of blood only from atria into ventricles. When the valve opens, blood flows forwards. When this tricuspid valve opens, blood from atria flows into ventricles. When the valve closes, when this tricuspid valve closes, it prevents the backward flow of blood, that is, the flow of blood from the ventricle back into atrium. So the opening and closure of the valves is controlled by the pressure gradient. So depending on the pressure in different chambers of the heart, these valves, they open and close. The special tissue that causes and regulates the beating of heart is nodal tissue. It forms the conducting system of the heart. The sinoatrial node, SA node, it acts as pacemaker. It generates the action potentials which initiate the contraction of the heart. Next one is AV node. It acts as pace setter and transmits the action potentials to ventricular muscles through bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. Hoping you all ready with the knowledge of structure of heart, let's move to our present topic, working of heart. What is the importance of heart in circulatory system? What is circulation first? The process of moving blood throughout the body is called circulation. Heart is the pumping station of the circulatory system. It pumps blood around the body, supplying oxygen and nutrients to all the cells and removing the waste materials. Heart serves as a pump to circulate the blood and maintains the continuous flow of blood throughout the body. So continuous flow of blood is maintained by the heart. How does the blood flow through the heart? How can heart pump the blood to the body organs? A healthy heart shows contractions and relaxations. The contraction of heart is known as systole. The relaxation of heart is diastole. When the heart contracts, it empties or pumps the blood out of it. When it relaxes, it is refilled with the blood. That means during systole, it pumps the blood to different parts of the body. During diastole, it receives blood from different organs of the body. The pulsation of heart or the contraction and relaxation of heart together form a heartbeat. Human embryonic heart begins beating at around a month of embryonic development. Before going to the details of cardiac cycle, the cyclical events of heartbeat, I'll remind you some basic principles. Blood always flows from higher to lower pressures. First, we will discuss the contraction of heart. During contraction, the pressure inside a chamber increases. Hence, the blood moves out of that chamber. For example, here we find the ventricular contraction. When the ventricles contract, the pressure inside the ventricles increases. So the blood is pumped out of the ventricles. Observe these arrows here. Whereas relaxation decreases pressure, so the blood moves into the relaxed chambers. Here this is diastolic phase, relaxation phase. The pressure inside the heart decreases, so blood moves into the heart. So heart creates pressure every time it beats. This pressure moves blood into every cell of the body. Let's now start the cardiac cycle. The sequence of events in a single heartbeat is known as cardiac cycle, or we can say the cardiac events that occur from the beginning of one heartbeat to the beginning of next heartbeat constitute a cardiac cycle. So the events between beginnings of two consecutive heartbeats is called cardiac cycle. Is it confusing? I'll make it clear now. The day begins with sunrise. Suppose the sun rises at 6 a.m. How can you define a day? Day is the duration or time gap between the beginning of one day and the beginning of next day. So the events from the beginning of one heartbeat to the beginning of next beat is called cardiac cycle. It is a sequence of events that repeat in every heartbeat. The cycle involves the contraction and relaxation of heart chambers. As we have discussed already, the contraction of heart is known as systole and relaxation is diastole. Contraction of atria is atrial systole. Contraction of ventricles is ventricular systole. Cardiac cycle occurs in 3 phases. Those are atrial systole, ventricular systole, and cardiac diastole. Now we'll discuss the 3 phases one by one. In the beginning of cardiac cycle, all the 4 chambers of heart are in relaxed state or joint diastole stage. In relaxed state, blood from different regions of the body reaches the atria. Atria are the receiving chambers, so the blood reaches the atria. Blood from the pulmonary veins, 2 pairs of pulmonary veins, flows into atrium. From superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, blood flows into right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from different body parts and left atrium receives oxygenated blood from lungs. Now, the AV valves are in open condition. So, the blood from atria flows into the ventricles. This is known as passive filling of ventricles. At this stage, the semilunar valves of the pulmonary arch and systemic arch are closed. The important point you have to observe here is blood from atria is flowing directly into the ventricles without any effort. That's why this is known as passive filling of the ventricles. We observe this passive flow of blood into ventricles before the atrial systole. Before the beginning of atrial systole, we find 70% of blood in ventricles. Let's now get into the first phase of cardiac cycle, the atrial systole. When there is blood in the atria, the sinoatrial node or SA node, which is located at the right atrium, generates action potentials. These action potentials spread over the walls of both the atria. They stimulate the atria to contract simultaneously. This contraction of atria is known as atrial systole, and atrial systole lasts about 0.1 second. That means the time taken for the atrial systole is 0.1 second. When the atria contract, blood flows into the ventricles through atrioventricular apertures. Atrial systole increases the flow of blood into the ventricles by about 30%. It means atrial systole accounts for about 30% of filling of ventricles. What about the remaining 70%? As I told you in the beginning, some quantity of blood reaches the ventricles passively, that is in relaxed state. That means 70% of blood is there in the ventricles before the atrial systole. What are the main points of atrial systole? When the sinoatrial node sends action potentials, the 2 atria undergo contraction. When the atria contract, the blood flows into respective ventricles. The deoxygenated blood from right atrium reaches the right ventricle and the oxygenated blood from left atrium flows into left ventricle. During the atrial systole, the AV valves, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open. So the blood flows from atria into ventricles. Next phase of cardiac cycle is ventricular systole. The contraction of ventricles is called ventricular systole. When do the ventricles contract? What events do we observe between the atrial systole and ventricular systole, the action potentials from SA node reach the AV node. From the AV node, these action potentials are conducted through the bundle of His, its branches and Purkinje fibers. Then they spread over the entire ventricular musculature. This is the passage of action potentials from SA node to ventricular musculature. Action potentials generated from the SA node can directly reach the atrial musculature only. They can't reach the ventricular muscles directly. When the action potentials reach the AV node, they are conducted through the bundle of His, its right and left branches and Purkinje fibers, and finally reaches the ventricular musculature. When these action potentials reach the ventricular musculature, they cause the ventricular systole, the contraction of the ventricles. It lasts about 0.3 seconds. That means there is a gap of 0.1 seconds between atrial systole and ventricular systole. After the completion of atrial systole only, the ventricular systole takes place. This gap is essential for the proper filling of the ventricles. When the ventricles contract, the blood from ventricles flows into aortic arches. During atrial systole, blood from atria reaches the ventricles. During ventricular systole, blood from ventricles reaches the aortic arches. How are the atria during ventricular systole? The atria undergo relaxation coinciding with the ventricular systole. You observe the picture here. After the completion of atrial systole only, we are able to find the ventricular systole. So at the time of contraction of the ventricles, observe the atria, they are in relaxed state. What are the consequences of ventricular systole? When the ventricles contract, the pressure inside the ventricles increases. The increase in ventricular pressure causes the closure of AV valves. Here, when the ventricles contract, the pressure inside the ventricles increases. The increase in pressure causes the closure of atrioventricular valves. When the atrioventricular valves are closed, the blood can't flow into the atria from the ventricles. So, the closure of atrioventricular valves prevents the backward flow of blood. The closure of AV valves, tricuspid and bicuspid valves, results in the production of first heart sound known as lub. Lub is the first heart sound. It is produced during ventricular systole when the AV valves are closed. So it is known as systolic sound. As the AV valves are in closed condition, the ventricular pressure further increases and the blood in the ventricles tends to move out of the ventricles. The increased pressure forces the semilunar valves of pulmonary aorta and systemic aorta open. When these pulmonary and aortic valves are forced open, the blood in the ventricles flows into aortic arches. Through these aortic arches, it is pumped to different tissues of the body. The deoxygenated blood from left ventricle enters the pulmonary arch and sent to lungs for oxygenation. The oxygenated blood from left ventricle enters the systemic arch and supplied to different regions of the body. So the ventricles receive blood from atria and pump the blood to all the organs of the body. That's why they are known as pumping chambers. They have to pump the blood to all the tissues of the body, so they are thick-walled chambers. During ventricular systole, atria are in relaxed state. Let's observe the important points in ventricular systole. At the beginning of ventricular systole, the AV valves are closed, producing the sound lub. The semilunar valves, pulmonary and aortic valves are open. Consequently, the blood from ventricles flows into aortic arches. In other words, during ventricular systole, pressure in the ventricles increases. The increase in ventricular pressure causes the closure of AV valves and opening of semilunar valves. At the end of ventricular systole, blood from the ventricles flows into aortic arches. Let's now watch a small video of cardiac cycle.
Now, all the four chambers of heart are in relaxed state. First, atria enter into diastole at the time of ventricular systole. After the ventricular systole, all the four chambers will be in relaxed state, that is known as joint diastole or complete cardiac diastole. Now we can observe here that the bicuspid and tricuspid valves are open. These valves guard the atrioventricular apertures. The blood from pulmonary veins reaches the left atrium and the blood from vena cava flows into right atrium. This is the passive flow of blood from atria into ventricles without atrial effort. Now, SA node sends action potentials. They reach the atrial musculature and initiate the atrial contraction. During atrial systole, the pressure inside the atria increases. It pushes the blood into ventricles through tricuspid and bicuspid valves. Deoxygenated blood from right atrium reaches the right ventricle. Oxygenated blood from left atrium flows into left ventricle. Now the ventricles are filled with blood. The AV node, which receives the action potentials from SA node, conducts those impulses through bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. When the action potentials reach the ventricular muscles, they stimulate the contraction of ventricles. The ventricular contraction increases the ventricular pressure. The increased ventricular pressure causes the closure of atrioventricular valves. That means bicuspid and tricuspid valves are closed. Then the pressure inside the ventricles further increases. What will happen because of this increase in ventricular pressure? It pushes the semilunar valves open and the blood flows into pulmonary and aortic arches. The closing of atrioventricular valves results in the production of first heart sound, lap. Now observe the ventricles. They are entering into relaxed state. During diastole, ventricles relax and ventricular pressure decreases. Decrease in ventricular pressure causes the closure of semilunar valves. When semilunar valves close, they produce second heart sound, DUP. Meanwhile, the atria have been filling with the blood during the ventricular systole. As the ventricles relax, blood flows from atria into ventricles, forcing the atrioventricular valves to open again. Another cardiac cycle starts again.
The human heart beats 72 times per minute. So we observe 72 cardiac cycles in a minute. Hence the duration of a cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. It is amazing. All the events of a cardiac cycle take place in less than 1 second. During this period of cardiac cycle, heart chambers are in relaxing state most of the time. Atrial systole lasts for about 0.1 second. Atria just work as passages or reservoirs. There is a sheet of connective tissue separating the atria from the ventricles. That's why action potentials from SA node can't reach the ventricles directly. This is the reason why the ventricles contract after the atrial systole. This arrangement facilitates the proper pumping of blood from the heart. We'll discuss the duration of cardiac cycle in detail. Atrial systole lasts for about 0.1 second, ventricular systole 0.3 seconds, complete cardiac diastole 0.4 seconds. Now we'll observe the state of atria and ventricles separately. Coming to atria. Atria are shown in the inner circle. This inner circle is representing the atria. Atrial systole takes place for 0.1 second. This red colored inner region is representing the atrial systole. Atria are in diastole stage for 0.7 seconds. So atria remain in relaxed state for longer period for 0.7 seconds. Then what about the ventricles? Ventricles are represented in the outer circle. Ventricular systole lasts for about 0.3 seconds. This outer red colored region is representing the ventricular systole. It occurs for 0.3 seconds. So ventricles are in relaxed state for 0.5 seconds. This outer blue colored region representing the ventricular diastole. Combined cardiac diastole. That means both the atria and ventricles are in diastole stage for 0.4 seconds. You observe an interesting point here. Atria are in diastole stage during ventricular systole. At the time of ventricular contraction, atria enter into relaxing stage and they start receiving blood through vena cava and pulmonary veins. And ventricles are in diastole stage during atrial systole. When upper chambers are in systole stage, the lower chambers come to diastole stage. When the lower chambers are in systole stage, the upper chambers they relax. You observe one more interesting point here. During later part of cardiac diastole, passive filling of ventricles takes place. That means blood from atria reaches the ventricles by passive method. During the atrial systole, the blood is pumped into the ventricles actively. These are the main points observed during cardiac cycle. Now we'll discuss the opening and closure of valves. When atrial pressure is more than the ventricular pressure, the AV valves open. This happens during cardiac diastole and also during atrial systole. When ventricular pressure is more than the atrial pressure, the AV valves are closed. This we observe during ventricular systole and also during early atrial diastole. When ventricular pressure is more than the pressure in aortic arches, the semilunar valves open. This also happens during ventricular systole. When ventricular pressure is less than the pressure in aortic arches, the semilunar valves are closed. This is about the opening and closure of the valves. Let's now discuss the heart sounds. No sounds are produced during opening of valves. Closure of valves produces the sounds during cardiac cycle. On the onset of ventricular systole, when AV valves are closed, the first heart sound, LUP, is produced. It is also known as S1, the first heart sound. At the beginning of ventricular diastole, when the semilunar valves are closed, the second heart sound, DUP, is produced. It is the second heart sound, S2. Between S1 and S2, there is ventricular systole. So the time gap between first heart sound and second heart sound is 0.3 seconds. Between S2 and S1, there is cardiac diastole and atrial systole. So the time gap between second heart sound and first heart sound is 0.5 seconds. Up to now, we have learned the events of different phases of cardiac cycle. In our coming session, we are going to discuss cardiac output, double circulation, coronary circulation, and regulation of cardiac activity.